issue that they're indicating is that they just can't get someone from IEM on the phone.
Yeah, and we spoke to an insider at IEM we spoke to two insiders actually who works at IEM anonymously, and they say, look, we were working for IEM in Texas, it seemed that things ran smoothly, but here in Florida it just seems like nothing ever went smooth. Did they ever bring any concerns to you guys? Did you ever hear about any of this before?
Did IEM? We've certainly brought concerns to them. You know, I had in my office about 3 weeks ago sit down with their leadership. I would say probably a come to Jesus meeting. The main purpose of the meeting was that they were getting off schedule. Their workload month to month was dropping. The contract requires they complete about 150 homes a month, and their completion numbers started dropping pretty significantly. So they had to come and explain that to us in person. And so it was a pretty disappointing response overall from the company, because the kinds of excuses we heard were, where they were basically blaming the homeowners. They were basically talking about some of the more challenging cases, and really, I think you get paid good money to construct a home, to repair a home, or in their case, to manage a group of construction contractors. I think the job is to manage those cases, and the job is to get the homes completed and repaired, no matter how challenging it may be.
And now, have you guys held IEM accountable?
Absolutely.
Yes, we have. If they do not meet the contracted 150 homes completed a month, there are financial consequences imposed. And like Secretary Kelly said, we've withheld between $3.5 and $4 million.
Yeah.
Now, did this meeting, I know you said this meeting was 3 weeks ago, was this meeting made after we started calling you guys, or were you guys already aware of what was going on?
This meeting happened because overall they weren't completing homes at the pace they were supposed to. So it was prior to hearing from you. It didn't have to do with specific homeowners. It had to do with, again, their overall performance. It's a performance-driven contract. In fact, the reason, just to give you a little history, the reason why it's a performance-driven contract is IEM. Give or take around September of 2021, we had to really pull IEM in at the time because their performance, they weren't keeping up with the pace required. The pace needed to complete the program in a reasonable time, and so we actually changed their contract to a performance-driven contract. They have to complete 150 homes per month. There's a number of other provisions that they have to meet. They have to hold their subcontractors more accountable. They weren't holding their subcontractors. They weren't really overseeing the work of their subcontractors. So the contract was changed. It became a performance-driven contract. So fast forward to now, their performance was, in terms of completing homes, was okay for a while, but towards the end of last year, the beginning of this year, that the numbers started to drop, and their February numbers were alarmingly low. And so at that point, that we had to bring them in for a higher level conversation. And I really had to personally corner them on what is actually happening here. I heard excuses that I think for the most part put the blame on the homeowner, which is not appropriate and not something that was acceptable. We've withheld, as Justin said, about $3.5 to $4 million from them since September of 2021 if they don't meet performance. And so it was focused on that overall.
Yeah, because I know when we went out to Mary Simpson's home out in, I think she's in Mononasassa, and